January 15th, 2009. A cold, clear afternoon in New York City. At 3:27 p.m., U.S. Airways Flight 1549 hit a flock of geese at 3,000 feet. In less than 4 minutes, the lives of 155 people would depend on a man who had spent his life flying gliders. This is not just a story of luck. It is a story of physics, precision, and the ultimate test of human decision-making.
We are breaking down every second of those 208 seconds of terror.
Captain Chesley "Sully" Sullenberger was a former Air Force fighter pilot and a safety expert. His first officer, Jeff Skiles, was on his first trip as a fully qualified A320 pilot. They were flying an Airbus A320, a marvel of modern technology. It's a fly-by-wire aircraft, meaning computers help the pilot stay within safe limits. But computers are designed for normal flight, not for falling out of the sky over the most crowded city on Earth. The takeoff from LaGuardia Airport was perfect. The weather was clear with 10 miles of visibility. Sully even remarked, "What a view of the Hudson today." Little did he know that river would be his only runway in less than 2 minutes. As they climbed through 2,800 feet, the pilots saw a massive formation of Canada geese directly in their flight path. There was no time to turn, just a loud series of thuds. The geese, weighing about 8 pounds each, were ingested into both engines. The CFM56 engines are certified to survive one bird strike, but not a whole flock. Both engines suffered compressor stalls. This is where the air inside the engine goes backwards. Passengers heard massive bangs and smelled the odor of unburned fuel. The cockpit went from a roar of engines to an eerie, terrifying silence. Sully immediately took control. Skiles grabbed the quick reference handbook. The checklist for dual engine failure is 3 pages long and designed for 35,000 feet, where you have 30 minutes to troubleshoot. They only had 3. They needed to restart the engines, but the engines were too damaged. Sully did something critical. He started the APU, the Auxiliary Power Unit. This ensured the plane's computers stayed powered even without engines. Air traffic control tried to help. They offered runway 13 at LaGuardia. Sully said, unable. They offered Teterboro Airport in New Jersey. Sully paused, looked at the distance, and realized they wouldn't make it. If they tried and failed, they would crash into houses or skyscrapers. His famous words were, "We're gonna be in the Hudson." He was choosing the only open space in New York. An Airbus A320 is a 150,000-pound brick without engines, but it can glide. For every 1 mile it drops in altitude, it can move about 12 miles forward. Sully had to maintain a best glide speed, not too fast to break the plane, not too slow to stall. He had to clear the George Washington Bridge by just 900 feet. Every foot of altitude was more precious than gold. On the overhead panel of every Airbus is a ditching button. When pressed, it seals all valves and inlets below the waterline to keep the plane afloat. Ironically, Sully and Skiles never had time to push it. They were too busy flying. Yet Sully's landing was so perfect, hitting the water tail first at an 11-degree angle, that the fuselage didn't break. This kept the plane buoyant long enough for everyone to get out. The water was 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Within seconds, the first ferry was on its way. Passengers stood on the wings as the plane drifted. Sully walked the aisle twice to make sure not a single person was left behind. In the end, 155 people were rescued. The NTSB later ran simulations. They found that if a pilot hesitated for even 35 seconds to try to return to an airport, they would have crashed. One Sully's instant decision saved everyone. This wasn't just a miracle, it was a masterclass in professional skill. It changed how we train pilots and how we handle bird strikes. Captain Sully shows us that when everything fails, the human heart and brain are the most powerful computers in the cockpit. What would you have done in those 208 seconds? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.